He is one of the top welterweight fighters in the world. On September 7th, he returns to action to headline a card against Sean Brady. Unfortunately, it's at the Apex, but I'll get on to that later. I am always happy to speak to my good friend Gilbert Burns. Gilbert, how are you?
I'm doing good, brother. Thank you so much. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. All right, now be honest, Gilbert. This is a great fight. I'm like this is an amazing fight, actually. But be
Yes.
honest, are you a little bummed it's at the Apex? I mean, come on now, be honest with me.
Yes, I am. I'm not gonna lie. So I was hoping whenever we got the confirmation that I'm fighting Sean Brady's gonna be main event, the in the contract was place TBA. So I was hoping so we get the big arena, but we there. It's the goods and pros fighting on the Apex, like he's bad because I have a lot of guys, my guys from Home of Fire from the podcast. They all want to go. He's sold out already. Very expensive tickets. I don't think they're gonna get in. They try and have so many guys trying to get in, but he's very limited. He's very expensive. Like the tickets, he started 3,500. It was very limited, so it sold out in a couple hours. So yeah, but the good thing of fighting in the Apex is the intimacy. It's like no crowd, not a lot of, especially lately, being very busy, interviews all day, all those pay-per-views, crazy. Uh, so there is a little bit more intimacy. I can hear his coach. He can hear my coach. You can hear the punches. We can see each other. I can see when the guy's getting hurt. I can see if he's getting tired. So that intimacy of fighting is the only thing that I like at the Apex. So other than that, I rather the big arena.
Yeah. I just like I said, I get it. I understand why it's there, but man, like, and did you see like a couple months ago they did a pro wrestling card there, and they had the stands filled. I was like, why don't they do this for the Apex
Yes,
for the UFC shows?
crazy, right? It's full. I wish you. I think that's why they're gonna close it. I heard they're gonna close it by November to do a big construction. For sure, they're gonna put more seats, and then I think that that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. Like I say, it doesn't need to be a lot. Just get 1,000 fans in there. That makes a huge difference. You know what I mean? That
Yes,
energy. So get 1,000 people in. That's fine.
yes.
Gilbert, I mentioned, man, I do love this fight. Can I ask, like, obviously you're so well known for your background in grappling. I remember talking to Mackenzie Dern years ago, and I said, who has the best jujitsu at mixed martial arts? And she mentioned you right away, Gilbert Burns, in terms of transitioning your jujitsu into MMA. Obviously, we know Sean Brady's an incredibly strong grappler, but a lot of times when we see these matchups between two strong grapplers, it ends up being a striking match. But I'm sure you remember this years ago. Jake Shields fought Damian Maia, one of my all-time favorite fights. I don't know if they threw 10 punches between the two of them for 5 rounds, but it was so much fun. So can I ask you, like, I'm not going to ask you to give away game plan or anything, but like, is there some small part of you that does hope you get to like test this guy's grappling to see how good he is?
I like this question. I think we're gonna grapple. I think I'm pretty strong, thinking that I don't think he's gonna change his game so much. I don't want to. I'm not planning on changing my game as much. Just stay sharp and do what I think is gonna work. For sure, we have a game plan for this guy. I'm gonna work on that, but it's not gonna be a lot of different things that I'm doing. For sure. But I believe we're gonna grapple at a certain point, and I think whoever ends up being on top is going to be he's going to have the advantage, at least energy wise. The guy that being on top of beef, he's gonna have a little bit more advantage. But I'm excited. He's a good fighter. I respect the guy a lot. But he had to finish this guy. To get back to the win column. Get close to a title shot. I'm not getting younger, bro. I just turned 38. I feel great. I feel like, especially training all these monsters then in Kill Cliff FC. So I feel great. I gotta test myself every day with those younger, like hungry guys. So, but the window's closed. It's not open anymore. I believe I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. And then Saturday's gonna be a nice fight. September 7th is gonna be a good fight. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because the one time we saw, and I think Sean Brady's an incredible fighter and what he's done has been so dominant. But the one fight where he kind of went away from himself and struck was the fight with Belal. And that ended up kind of backfiring on him because Belal ended up knocking him out, which I know, listen, Belal, and I'll ask you about Belal's performance later, but I don't think anyone's going to peg Belal as a guy who's known for having knockout power. Good striker, good boxing,
Yeah.
but he's not really a knockout guy. I just have a hard time believing Sean Brady's going to just go away because striking wise, Gilbert, you have an advantage. Like you absolutely know for a fact you have an advantage in the striking game. So like I said, selfishly, I want to see those grappling exchanges.
He's gonna have a grappling advantage, a grappling exchange 100%. I think if it's kind of like two ways I see that Sean Brady doing. I think based on my last two fights, I didn't look as good on striking. He might be a little confident throwing a couple things, or he gonna do the thing that he's been doing. Like striking a little bit, shooting for the takedown, put me against the wall, try to take me down, get on top, get good position. Or he gonna let it, you know what? I think he can strike a little bit more. Let me strike a little bit more. I think those are the two options. I don't think he's gonna change as much. For sure, he's getting better. For sure, he's improving. For sure, they analyze everything. I know he has a great team over there in Philly. Uh, I think he's gonna come up in shape and hungry and ready to take my place. So, but I believe he's gonna be an MMA fight. You're gonna strike, you're gonna punch each other. You gotta do the grappling exchange at least. You gotta do at least a little bit. At least he shoot, I shoot. But that what happens in time is shoot. Like let's say if he shoots and I'm able to stuff his takedown, the fence takedown good, and the other way around too. I go out there and I try to shoot and then he defended good and I know I'm gonna waste a lot of energy trying to take this guy down. Then we're gonna strike. So we'll see how the fight goes. I'm trying to get ready for every scenario where the fight goes.
Absolutely. Gilbert, I've always complimented you on being an incredible analyst. You started your YouTube channel, you started doing analysis, and I loved it. Now you're doing a podcast. I mean, you're just trying to take my job, man. Like, stop, dude. Slow down. Like, you're just doing too much. But, I know you spoke after the fight with Jack Della Maddalena. You were very honest about, just what happened in that third round because it was a fight you were up. I'm curious. I imagine, like, no loss is fun. Like, there's never a loss that matters better or worse than the other. But I remember talking to you after the Belal fight and you had that injury. You basically had to fight 4 rounds, with one arm, more or less. But you did. The Jack fight, you were winning, and obviously he came back at the end. Is there one way more frustrating than the other? Because I imagine every loss is frustrating, but like the Belal fight, you were basically fighting him for 4 rounds at like 50% or 60%, whatever number you want to put it on. Again, I know you take nothing away from him for the victory, but you were injured. You talked about that. The Jack fight, you were up, you were winning, and obviously what happened at the end. Is one way more frustrating than the other when you have that happen?
Both ways sucks. Both ways are not. And especially this sport, we all love the win. We get addicted with that adrenaline, the dump when we win. That's where everyone gets addicted. That's all those guys. Oh, I need a date. Oh, I feel better when I know. Yeah, because that adrenaline, it dumps when we win the fight. I was looking forward to that. Both ways sucks when I lost the fight, but Jack Madalena put me out. Like it was TKO. I think was the key stoppage. The referee gave him a little chance to fight back. He couldn't fight back. He finished. So he's no, and not even if I want, he's an excuse right there. It's nothing. The guy finished me. The Belal fight was unfortunate. It was my fault. Belal has nothing to do with that. I don't want to take nothing away from his fight, from his win. I can't. He did great, and then but I was injured. So injury and trying to fight through the adversity was way more frustrating than getting finished. We are fighters. I'd rather go on my shoe. My frustration was I'd rather Bilal was taking me out, with one shoulder, boom, and finish it. That was a better thing than try to fight and cannot fight. That frustration was harder. I was even trying to hate on Bilal for a little bit, for a little while. I was hating on him. And then eventually I swallowed that. You know what? That's no fault that this guy has no fault that I got injury. So kudos to him. And then I even did a breakdown my channel and I said if he fights Leon the way he fought, he was going to win. And I think I was one of the few ones that picked Belal to win that fight.
It's funny you say that because I remember having that conversation with you a while ago. I can't remember which one of our interviews you did, but you were one of the few people who said, it may have been before the Colby fight. You said people need to not sleep on Belal because like he actually is a really good. And I'll be the first. I just interviewed Belal last week. I'll be the first to admit I picked him to win as well. I just thought his pace, his pressure, his wrestling, because he's so committed to the takedowns, and I think that's something that Usman kind of got away from a little bit. Was like really committing to the takedowns. Belal didn't have that problem. And I think the takedowns led to success in striking. Like, yeah, I thought he actually outstruck Leon on the feet, which was kind of crazy in a lot of those exchanges. So I imagine you were impressed. Like you saw that kind of coming. You were one of the few people who saw that coming, but were you impressed by how kind of one-sided that fight was outside of that one round where it was a reversal and Leon was on his back, but he never really came close to finishing him. He was just on his back for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, I was I kind of saw that coming, especially uh Leon is a great fighter, but whenever he was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna knock this guy out," bro, it's hard to knock Belal out, bro. The guy has a chin, and Leon Edwards on the last maybe I don't know how long, maybe 10 fights, he just has one knockout against Kamaru. Other than that, he don't knock people out. And when I see like he controlling the distance, using those kicks, he's a very good kicker, good punches. He's cleaning on the technique, striking wise. Leon Edwards is very, very good. But putting everything together with the pace, with the volume, staying in your face, mixing takedowns, dirty boxing, especially during the camps with Islam and Habib, I knew I kind of felt that that was the path for Belal to win, and he did exactly what he has to. I wasn't impressive. I knew kind of what he got to do. He have like a long layoff preparing for this fight, and I think he was feed from all that UFC make him wait. Leon make him wait. He was fed from that. He got very hungry and he worked super hard. You saw he was in amazing shape. I just thought Leon would do a little bit better job in defending, but I still see like Bilal overwhelming him with the work. But yeah, Bilal looked very good in becoming the champion he did in a freaking. People cannot deny him anymore. He's a good champion. I think he's doing the right thing, facing like Shafkat, the toughest competition out there. Whoever's the number one, I like what he's doing.
You obviously you train with Shavkat, so I know I'm kind of asking to step on a landmine here, Gilbert, because you joked like when you said you used to talk about Bilal and he get all mad at you. I know Shavkat's your guy. You train with him all the time. That's one of your training partners. Do you feel like he should be next? Because I know Bilal told me the way the schedule's laying out, he's probably not going to end up fighting till early next year just because he had that cut on his nose. They already filled up the Abu Dhabi card. I know he really wanted to fight on there, and I think the only thing that's really left is December. And I don't know if they're going to do Chandler Conor. I don't know what's really going on with that. So maybe December, January. But do you think Shavkat should be the guy?
Wasn't clear. I think he's the guy that on the whole division, he's the one that deserves the most. But I know he was gonna fight Jack Della Madalena, but that was a good fight. But Jack, he still have injury on his arm. He wasn't good. He had a couple operations making that arm good. But if Bilal is not ready by this year, I think Shavkat should do one more, and maybe Jack or maybe Ian Gary. I think those are the guys in the top right there because Kamaru is there, but he's 3 losses. Like he doesn't kind of necessarily deserve right now. Colby Chu is there, but he's not doing anything. Uh, Leon, I don't think he deserves a rematch right now. So yeah, I think Shabka against Jack or Ian Gary would make a lot of sense to be next. I think Shabka could be the next if Belal was ready to go in Abu Dhabi or in Salt Lake City. But if he's got to postpone because of these injuries, yeah, Shavkat might do one more to get so we have a clear number one contender.
Do you think when you look at the lay of the land at welterweight, I know Ian Gary's your guy. You worked with him. Did I see like when he won his last fight? I thought I saw you backstage, like you were celebrating.
Yeah,
I know that I know he doesn't train there, but I know you're still very close to him, and he's one of
yeah.
your guys. But do you think Shavkat, if you're just looking at who's out there, Shavkat, Ian, I know Usman's still out there. I know he's off 3 losses, but he's always going to be in that mix. Do you think Shavkat is the biggest threat to Belal in terms of the guy who has the best chance to beat Belal?
Um, at that top five right there, I think Shavkat is a good matchup with Belal Muhammad. I think Jack too. Jack was very good, bro. Very good takedown defense, good get ups. He hits very hard. It made me worry about his striking. Like, wow, that guy hits hard. So Jack is a threat too. Uh, yeah, I think. But Bilal is the king right now. He's on the top right now. He's gonna kind of see whenever he's the best, whenever he's ready, whenever his best time. I think he shouldn't hurry, because they didn't hurry to make him fight. He shouldn't hurry. Take his time, heal up, do your thing right now with the belt. Go to policy, go everywhere. Do the things that you gotta do. Whenever you health, get back in training and fight. But I think Shavkat, Jack, Ian Gary, they all will be nice fights against Belal Muhammad.
Yeah, I think one more for anybody would make sense. Not because I think Bilal, and I mean Bilal told me flat out like he would fight any of them. I actually mentioned
Yeah.
Jack, Ian, and Shavkat specifically. But I think one more for any of them would make sense. Like I think Ian's win over
Agree.
Michael Page was impressive. And I think Shavkat beating Wonderboy is impressive, but I don't know that beating Wonderboy now is the same as like when you beat Wonderboy a few years ago.
Yeah,
I think one more win would just make
I
sense.
agree.
Whether it's Ian, whether it's Jack, whether it's Usman, whoever it is, just one more win to kind of solidify that spot. That's the way I feel.
I agree. I agree. But I think I will set up Shavkat. I think Shavkat deserves that number one contender fight, and then Shavkat against Jack. If Jack's ready, I think that's the best fight to make. But if Jack's not ready, then I think Ian Gary that will be a number one contender fight.
Would that break your heart a little bit to see Shavkat and Ian fight? Because I know again you're close with Ian. Shavkat's your trading partner. So is it just you just kind of roll that as that's part of the sport?
No, not anymore. I think he's my division. Also, I'll fight any one of these guys, but we gotta fight each other. We fighting for something bigger. And yeah, we all want to be the best. So eventually, we're gonna fight each other. We knew already. So I just hope it's not a lot of trash talk. I hope they don't go crazy with each other and they go out there and they deliver a show. That'll be amazing. But if he's a bad blood, they talking bad, then I kind of don't like that much. But we all know we gotta fight each other, so he's all good.
Yeah, I know you told me before when I mentioned Ian, when this is going back a ways after the whole controversy with Leon's gym and everything, and you had nothing but praise for Ian. I think you told me, and I don't want to misquote you, Gilbert. You said, listen, I would never, I wouldn't seek out a fight against Ian. That's my guy, but that's
Yeah.
also the sport. Like, you're not calling Sean Shelby and say, give me Ian Gary, but you're also
Yeah.
not the guy who's going to turn down a fight.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna call out Shavkat. Or if they have the belt, it's a different thing. We all want to become a champion, so I'm gonna call for the belt. But if the UFC, that's the fight that we're gonna make it. I say there's no other options, no anyone over there. Oh, the guy say, yeah, I already say yes. I say, okay, whatever, let's do it. But I'm gonna ask for if that's the only option. They say yes. Okay, he say yes, let's do it. But I will not chase those fights. But for the number one contender, I'll fight any one of these guys.
I said, I know you said fairly recently, you had said, like, you talked about Colby. I think this was before the Sean Brady fight was official. You said something to the effect of, like, just too much drama dealing with Colby. And I don't want to play matchmaker. And I know your mind is only set on Sean Brady September 7th. But I think, and I don't even know if this would be conflict now. Like, I think you and Usman running it back would be a great fight. I know
Me
he's
too.
come back there and he's been there training, and I don't think there's any bad blood there, but I think, that would make a lot of sense. Again, I'm not trying to stir up trouble. I'm just saying I think that would make a lot of sense if everything goes well on September 7th. You running it back with Usman, I think would be a great fight.
I agree 100%. I think first thing first, I gotta go out there and finish. Finish. That's the only way I see. I gotta finish this guy. So I go out there, finish Sean Brady, put on a show, great performance. especially if he's an early finish, second round, third round, that would be amazing. And then I'll call my shots, But for sure, I'm looking for the biggest fight and the biggest fight out these guys ahead of me, especially if no one is scheduled until then. Any one of the top five there, it makes sense, Like I'm beating if I go out there. If no, I'll beat Sean Brady. I'm super confident, putting a lot of work, extra work. It's been tough, but I go out there and I finish it. Sean Brady, you gotta be a big fight. You gotta be a number one contender fight. Even if I gotta wait, okay, you gotta wait a little bit. Shaf Khan, these guys next. So give me Kamaru, give me Kobe, give me whoever is there, Leon, and then after that, I want a title shot. So that's my goal right now. And again, I don't have that much time. I'm here for a good time. And maybe I don't know how many fights more I got in me. Because even though before starting MMA, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while. Since I was 15 to 16, I was competing a lot, so it's been very tough to keep up with the little injuries, the little things that before was shoot ice, one PT was gone. Now it's kind of like taking a little bit more, like it's the whole week to get a little injury and get better. So I'm training, I'm keep up with that, but it's not being easy. And I'm investing a lot of money in cold plunge, sauna, physical therapy, these machines, this new machine, and laser, and that therapy. And then that's what I do all day. I train, I podcast once a week, and other than that, recovery training, recovery massaging, stretching, this and that, mobility, hyperbaric chamber, ice, sauna. That's my life. And then I got a couple more fights in me, but not a whole lot of fights in me. So again, I'm here to beat this guy, beat one more guy, get my title shot, and get the title. So we guys enjoy while I'm here because I'm not here for a long time.
You said 38, Gilbert. Come on now. You're not really 38. I was like, you're like 34. Come on now, Gilbert. I was like, when you said that, I was like, there's no way Gilbert's 38.
Right? And then we see the guy who used to play, like those guys from Amazon, like Jose Aldo, Gregory Rodriguez. Those guys are younger than me. No way they're younger than me. I remember I was blue belt, I think 17 years old when Jose Aldo moved to Rio. I was 17, and I remember Jose Aldo was like 18 or 19, purple belt. And now I look, I'm older than him. Like, oh my God, what happened? Like all those guys from Amazon, they do something that, I think they're gonna walk to get an ID and registration. They say, oh, I want to be called Gregory Rodriguez. I think that's how they do it over there. In Rio, it's a big city, so I gotta go there. So yeah, I'm really 38. I feel like 35, 34, but yeah, I'm 38.
That was like the old joke back in the day when the Noguera brothers, and I think they said they're like 32, and I was like, come on now, they're 38, 39. Like, come on now, there's no way these guys are 32.
100%, right? I'm the opposite. I'm younger.
Now, but do you like you acknowledge that, Gilbert? And I always have said you're one of the smartest guys in the sport. The fact that you're acknowledging that, is there part of you that says like you only have so many fights left? Because I hear this a lot from some of the guys near the top when they acknowledge that, is saying that like you want to retire from the sport, you don't want the sport to retire you. And I imagine that's part of it for you too. You're still, I think the UFC giving you a main event against another top 10 guy says a lot about what they think about you. They're not saying, oh, Gilbert's on his way out, let's give him some young up and comer, let's give him some unranked guy. They know you're still one of the best guys in the world. And I think that's why you're in this main event against a guy like Sean Brady. But can I imagine that is in somewhere in the back here is like you don't want to go too long, because you do see, sadly, in the sport, some guys don't know when to walk away. And I love him. I absolutely love him. But I mean, we can't acknowledge Tony Ferguson, like 8 losses in a row. I do a podcast with Matt Brown. Matt Brown said, anytime you lose 8 fights in a row, that's bad. I don't care if it's beginning of your career, into your career, 8 fights in a row. I don't care what you're doing. That's not good. I assume you never want to be in that situation.
I won't be in that situation, and I saw what the Matt Brown thing, and I agree with him because I do believe this is a mental health issue that a lot of fighters have. We saw a lot of fighters, even my guy Dustin Poirier. Oh, I need a date. I need a date. Bro, you don't need a date. You don't need to fight. You want to fight. It's different. Like it's different when when you need to fight and then when you want to fight, because we all fighters, and I think we all fight. It gets to a point that for sure the money is great, but it's not only money. Most of these guys, we can retire. We okay. We have a good life. We're gonna have a post career. We okay, but we all chasing, especially Tony Ferguson. I like when Matt Brown said that we chasing the adrenaline dump with the win, making the guy quit and have that arm raised in the whole arena. We love that, and but we cannot get caught up with that. And I think I learned that lesson when I have those 3 fights in 5 months. When I fought Neil Magny back in Brazil and I won, and then I fought Masvidal in April here, won. A couple weeks after, I tried to fight Belal, and that was a little mental health that I think I had a little issue because I just beat Masvidal, not the way I wanted. And then I was needed that one more. I need to do this again. I need to do this again. Then when I got a fight with Belal, and I kind of felt that I wasn't at my best. I wasn't picking because I just picked twice ago. I wasn't picking. Then was that got injury, and then it made me reflect a lot, work on psychology, and see like, man, I want to have the adrenaline. It's not that I want to win. No, I was just talking to myself. I was talking to my coach. I convinced everybody that I want to fight, but at that moment, I want to have that feeling again, and it was kind of like addiction. It took me a long way to work out of that and then kind of balance that a little bit because whenever I fight, oh, I need the fight, I need that date. When they have that, they're a little bit unbalanced. They're not well. Like the health is not well. They unbalanced. So you gotta fix that. And then I agree when Matt Brown said, "Oh, Tony Ferguson, yeah, bro, 8 losses back to back. You're doing something wrong." I think you're getting older. You're 40. You gotta adjust a little bit your training. You don't need to go back to spar. You don't need to go training David Goggins, but you need to slow down a little bit. You need to pick your fights a little bit better. You need to maybe get a new way to fight. But eight losses, and I don't think he's gonna stop. I think PFL might take him to feed him to a couple PFL guys that are very good, but they don't have the big following. And it's kind of sad, but we gotta understand that that's kind of like gambling. Those guys go out there. I don't like gambling. I used to work with one company, but I decided to stop because I don't like it because not because whenever you do something, but you're responsible is fine. But a lot of guys are very irresponsible because they're gonna gamble, right? And then they lose a fight, they put a lot of money in this fight, lose, and they're gonna chase that win. They might go to casino, they go crazy, and they're gonna end up broken. It's the same feeling with the fighter that keep losing but keep chasing that adrenaline dump. So I think we need to be smarter with that and then make sure we're well balanced. When you need to fight, is a wrong mentality. You need to, I want to fight. I'm feeling like it. I'm healthy. I'm feeling good. I'm training, but don't be like chasing everybody, calling everyone out. I think you need to have a balance with that. And I'm here because I like I did a couple of great investments. I have a couple of mentors help me out with my money. I try to be very smart in the last like four years, be very smart investing. I did real estate, I did crypto, I did stock marketing. I still invest in a couple of things. I have a supplement company. I did the podcast. We did the Homo fight. So I don't need to fight, but I want to fight. And I know it's not gonna be like I don't have like 10 more fights than me. I might have, I don't know, maybe five around that, maybe a little bit more fighting. But I know like, and I want to go in peace like Robbie Lawler did. We've been talking a lot, and they said, "No, go in peace. Go whenever you're ready. You feel whenever you don't want to compete a lot more in the training. Whenever you're kind of like slowing down, you're cool." He said, "That's it." So I'm not putting a date. I don't putting a number of fights, but I'm gonna try to go in a smart way. I hope with a win. I hope with the belt. I hope with everything. But sometimes it doesn't go our way. But I'm gonna keep looking for that.
Yeah, your guy Robbie had to me like the best ending ever. He
The
went out with
best.
that knockout, and you could not have written a better ending. And you know, like there's somewhere deep down inside, he's like, man, I just got a great win. I could do it again. But I like the fact that like he walked. And I've heard so many guys from Kill Clip. I actually talked to Michael Chandler. Sadly, you know, it was before the fight got delayed, but he had said like Robbie's become a huge coach at Kill Clip, one of the best striking
Oh,
coaches down there. I've talked
yeah.
to a lot of the guys down there. So he had a purpose beyond fighting. Like he was able to
Yes.
find that purpose because you know how that is. Like a lot of guys, like I'm going to retire. They get a big knockout. Well, one more. And but yeah, I've heard Robbie's become a huge part of the coaching staff down there.
Yeah, he's gonna corner me. He's gonna corner me for this fight with Sean Brady. Another guy too, Nick Lentzis. On the beginning, he became a coach, and I'm like, he's a little weird. And then, but bro, he's very good. He gave me a couple great points that I look at like, man, I didn't know you were there. Smart. I like that. So Nick Lentzis, Robbie Lawley, they're doing an amazing job. Robbie will be there on my corner. Maybe later round, Nick will be there too. Those guys are doing a great job.
I love it. I love it. Can I ask, you know, you do your podcast, by the way, and I think you do a phenomenal job on there. So I know you give your opinion a lot. I mentioned your guy, Michael Chandler. Can I ask you honestly, Gilbert, like, should he still be waiting at this point? Like, I know I'm asking you, it's a guy you're friends with, your teammate, but like, cause I love Michael. I've been close with Michael since his early day in Bellator, like early days in Bellator. And I've expressed this to Michael. I've expressed it to his manager. Like, I just have this bad feeling like he's going to be waiting all this time and it's just not going to happen. And then you feel like you've wasted 2 years of your career. I hear December. That's what I'm hearing. I think we're all hearing the same thing. December seems like maybe, but I don't know. What do you think? Like, are you kind of I'm of the mindset like wait till December. If it doesn't happen in December, you got to move on.
Bro, now I don't know. I would never wait that long for any opponent. I would never like no way. Especially he's like my age. He just turned 38 too. So yeah, I would never wait 2 years. That's crazy. Even though it's Conor McGregor, even though I don't care, I will never wait. But as he's already waiting that long, now I will do like you said. I wait till December. If the guy shows up, we're good. We're here. If not, I think I'll had move on so a long time already.
Yeah, I legitimately feel bad for him. I'm like, this is like, because I understood like when you did the Ultimate Fighter and you knew you're going to have to wait a little while after that. Okay, I get all that, and then it's just these constant delays. It's almost like he's invested so much time. It's almost like he can't waste it now. I feel bad for him because when it was done in June, I was like, June, it's going to happen in June, and then it got delayed again. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I feel for the guy because this is a big fight, but as you said. Yeah, I know. Like, I know you would never. Like, I don't care what they said. Like, you're going to fight Colby or you're going to fight Usman. I'm sure you would say, "No, I'm not waiting 2 years."
No way, bro. Anyway, no, I don't think. I think most of fighters will not wait, but I think he was hoping to get it going soon, and then the delay started, and then I mean now I think now he gotta wait, now this fight gotta happen, if he doesn't for sure if he doesn't come in December, no one will ever think he's coming back anymore. So I think I'll do like you said, wait until December. If he shows up, good, let's go. If not, you gotta move on.
Yeah, well, I know. Like I said, you're not a guy who waits. I know you said after Sean Brady,
No,
you may wait for a little while, but I can't imagine you're going to sit out for 9 months waiting for any fighter.
no
Not 2 years, but I'm saying like, even 9 months. I can't imagine you're just going to sit around and wait.
no way. He cannot wait. Like I mean, when I have injuries, for sure you gotta wait, you gotta heal up. So with that Belal fight, it took me almost 6 months to come back with the shoulder. Got back, and then I lost to Jack, and then with Jack I had a couple injuries following up after the loss. Whenever I got healthy, they already pushing me. They want that fight to be in July. I said, no way, July, no. Like I'm coming back, and it's gonna be 5 rounds, gotta be in shape. And we pushed to September, but yeah, I like to fight. It's not that I want that I need, but I like it, and I know I'm not gonna do it for so long. Let's for sure take a rest between the fights. Don't go don't go 3 fights in 5 months. But other than that, I like to fight.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are. Like I said, I'm not happy about the Apex. I'm not gonna lie, but I am happy you guys got the main event. I think you're a main event fighter. I think it says a lot about you as a person, who you are as a fighter. The UFC always puts you in these positions, whether you're pay per view or headlining a card. I think that says a lot about what they think about you. And I think this is a phenomenal fight. I look at the calendar for the rest of the year. I'm super excited about Ilya and Max Holloway. I think that's a great fight. I think we're all excited to finally see John Jones come back. I'm excited about a lot of fights, but your fight with Shaw, man, it's one of my favorites. I love when two great great grapplers get matched up. Like I said, I think Jake Shill's Damian Maia, one of my all-time favorite fights. Like I joke, but I don't know if those guys threw 10 punches. Now I know you're going to throw more than 10 punches, but I love these great grappling matchups. So I think this is a phenomenal fight, and I know you're a 5-round fighter. It was weird seeing you in a 3-round fight, so I think this is built for Gilbert Burns.
For sure. And even Henry was saying these days, and then I was saying, man, I want to get in shape, and say, hey, you're 4 or 5 rounds, you don't want shoulder, relax, you're gonna be fine. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I fought with one freaking shoulder. So yeah, let's do it. So I'm excited for this fight.
I love it. Well, Gilbert, man, it's always a pleasure to catch up. You know, I appreciate the time, man. Keep it up in the podcast. You guys are killing it, by the way. I love your podcast. I'll be honest, I don't listen to a lot of MMA podcasts because there's just so many out there, but I actually really enjoy yours. I just love the perspective you guys bring. I've said this to you on and off the air. I think you've got a great mind for the sport. I love your analysis. So keep up the great work with it, man. Stop stealing my job, but no, keep up a good joke. Keep up the good work. And thank you as always for carving out some time for me, man. I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure, but don't worry. I don't do interviews. We do podcasts. We do. You keep doing it with the good interviews. All right. Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it. All right, my brother. We'll talk soon.